You are looking at Rice Field in Elkhart. You know, the philosopher Cicero said there is nothing harder to achieve than perfection, and yet that's the goal tonight for top-ranked New Prairie, to try to finish an unblemished season with the Northern Indiana Conference title as they visit the 10th-ranked Elkhart Central Blue Blazers on this edition of the 46th game of the week. And how you doing, everybody? Alongside my Hall of Fame running back, Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. Our partner, Bob Nagel, sends his regards. He continues to recuperate. He appreciates your prayers and support. Support is something that New Prairie has had plenty of this year, and for understandable reasons. I know it's rare that we show up and there's not thunder and lightning in the sky when the Cougars are playing, but you know what? They provide plenty of that on their own on the field. They've got a lightning strike offense and a thunderous defense.
Yeah, and it really starts with their guys up front and their discipline and their dedication to the run game, and they practice, and it gets monotonous over and over in the way they run their plays, but they want perfection on every single play, and in order to have that perfection, everybody has to be lined up, everybody has to hit the holes right, everybody has to block the same guys, and Coach Radke has those guys disciplined and to the point to where they know exactly every inch of that football field.
And that's one reason that Russ Radke really likes this edition of New Prairie football.
The resiliency they have whenever adversities come about. The challenges, they meet them pretty strong, and they're a growing bunch of young men that try to do their executions with responsibility. So that's kind of hard to think in youth today. They take on all that kind of assignment. So that's kind of something to be excited about.
The Elkhart Central Blue Blazers are 6-2 on the year, ranked 10th in the coaches poll, unranked in the AP. Bo, they have been so close against some of these big-time teams like Penn and Mishawaka, haven't been able to get over the top, but that doesn't take away from the fact you look at this Central team, they've got some primo talent.
Yes, they do. They got 3 Division I players, maybe a few more sitting on the benches as well. But I'm telling you right now, this team has got it together. They started late last year in the season, and they really started believing that they could win, and they believe they can win this year as well. They've had a couple close losses, but they still believe. They never gave up in those games. That's the biggest key. Last year they had a couple games where they kind of gave up a little bit once adversity hit them. This year adversity's hit them, and they've stayed in those games and kept battling, and I don't expect anything different tonight.
But boy, a marquee win would mean a lot for Josh Shattuck and his program.
Well, it'd be huge for our program. You know, we were kind of knocking on the door maybe a little surprisingly last year, but the difference was we had to play so well to be in those games, and the couple games that we've slipped this year, we don't feel like we've played our best, and a big part of that's your opponent, obviously, in this sport, but you know, we just think that we want to belong in the top portion of the NIC North, and we want to belong in the top portion of 5A in Northern Indiana, and in order to do that, you have to beat the best competition. So again, this conference just allows you a lot of opportunities to try to do.
So we've set the table, but who is this a bigger game for, New Prairie or Elkhart Central?
Well, first off, I'm going to look at Central. As you can see behind us, they're doing senior night tonight. This is the last senior class that's going to go through Elkhart Central High School. So it's a big game. It's their last regular conference game as Elkhart Central. But I think it's bigger for New Prairie, and the fact that first time they're joining the North on the NIC. Who would have thought 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 years ago that New Prairie had a chance to come in here tonight, go undefeated in the NIC, win the conference, and somebody not named the Caveman or Penn have a share of that title.
So it should be a fun one here at Rice Field, and we'll talk more about it with the Jordan Automotive Keys to Win next on the 46th game of the week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Intera Credit Union, South Bend Orthopedics, Bill's Heating, Jordan Automotive Group, Teachers Credit Union, IU South Bend, Electrical Workers Local 153, Crown Trophy, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, and the IHSAA.
And this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by the Jordan Auto Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. What a perfect autumn night for football on the banks of the Elkhart River. Welcome everybody to Rice Field and the Rush Corps pregame show as we count you down to number 1 New Prairie and number 10 Elkhart Central. Kickoff just moments away. Let's look at our keys to win. brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group. When you take a look at the New Prairie Cougars on offense, the straw that stirs the drink is their quarterback. His name is Chase Ketterer, and he has been lights out this year. Ketterer has rushed for 1,556 yards and 22 touchdowns. He's completing 50% of his passes, 459 yards and 6 TDs that way. Defensively, they count on everybody, but the leading tackler is Brandon Kasinger, a 5'11", 171-pound junior who has 52 tackles, including 3.5 sacks. The keys to win for the veteran coach Russ Ratke and the Cougars.
Yeah, the keys to win tonight for the Cougars. They need to get field position from their special teams, whether it's from the kickoff after scoring or their very select punts that they have during a game. It's key to get field position in those situations. Stop the run. They need to stop Mark Brownlee. That's their main focus on defense. And play with maximum intensity. There's a lot riding on this game. They're already going to be the NIC champs, but they don't want to be co-champs. They want to be champs. They need to play with maximum intensity.
They will need to do that as well to counter a very explosive Elkhart Central team on both offense and defense. Offensively, they really rely a lot on their running back, Mark Brownlee. Brownlee, 6 feet, 215 pounds, and a senior. He is headed to Ball State next year. He has rushed for 1,440 yards and 23 touchdowns. He's the all-time leading rusher in the city with a heart. And on defense, well, they've got some very talented people, but a guy that kind of gets overlooked is this young man, Sean Holman. Two-way player, actually, offensive lineman, defensive lineman, all conference a year ago. And oh, by the way, he still leads them in tackles. 62 stops, 11 tackles for loss, and 3.5 sacks. Kid can play.
The keys to winning tonight for your Elkhart Central Blue Blazers, they need to finish drives. When they get and sustain a drive, they have great success in that way. They cannot have penalties. They cannot have turnovers. They need to finish those drives. Turn them over. They need to have New Prairie turn the ball over. That's key for them winning, and make big plays in every phase. That's on defense, big turnovers, special teams, and especially offense. They want to have big plays. They don't want to have to just necessarily sustain drives. They want to hit them hard and hit them fast.
You take a look at the captains out at midfield meeting with the officials as we talk about the series history. It's not a rich one by any means. The only time they met was last year. It was over at Amsey Miller Field, and New Prairie absolutely blew the Blazers out that night. Cold, rainy night. Brownlee was hurt. 49-0 was the final. And quite frankly, Josh Shattuck concerned that that could happen again here tonight, although he doesn't think it will. Weather-wise, we couldn't ask for anything better tonight. As you look at the Tom Kurth Fieldhouse, 51 degrees at game time, a gentle zephyr coming out of the south. They say it's at 8, but the flag isn't moving down at the south end of the field, and there's not a chance we see any rain here tonight. It is senior night for the Blue Blazers, you mentioned in the open. It is the last regular season game that Elkhart Central will ever play football. 261 and 221 as a football team since being incarnated as Elkhart Central in 1972. The coin toss was won by New Prairie. The Cougars deferred. The Blazers will receive down at the north end as you take a look at this 8-0 New Prairie team over on the other side. And Russ Ratke has been around for a long time, 43 years. He's got 365 wins. He says it's not even the first time he's been on that visitor's sideline at Rice Field. He was there as the head coach of Griffith, coaching against Tom Kurth that long ago when Griffith played Elkhart here at Rice Field.
Well, what a great night we had tonight. A big atmosphere here tonight. Central, last home game for them. Regular season game. And New Prairie, just a great opportunity for New Prairie. They had Penn in a couple weeks ago over at their place, and they couldn't have fathomed how many people showed up at that, and being in that situation to beat Penn and now have a chance to go undefeated in the NIC and claim an NIC championship outright.
That'll do it for the Rush Corps pregame show. We got conflicting signals from our officials. The Blazers will kick off. New Prairie will receive. Brian Ramirez puts the boot to it, and we're underway with high school football on 46. The ball goes into the end zone on its own for the touchback. And Ramirez, who has had touchbacks on 23 of his 46 kickoffs this year, so 50% of the time he does that, and it'll force New Prairie to start from its own 20-yard line. Chase Ketterer wears number 5. He's the quarterback of this New Prairie team. And the leading rusher on the unit. We'll go over the starting lineups in just a moment. New Prairie runs an option attack. They will keep it between the tackles most of the time. And the other thing you need to know about Chase Ketterer is frequently he can call his own plays depending on the alignment that he sees from the Blazer defense. First quarter tonight sponsored by our friends at R&B Car Company. Ketterer and an empty backfield. Fakes it to Skornog, keeps it himself, and Ketterer weaves his way upfield for 5 yards on 1st and 10. So let's meet this New Prairie offense. We told you all about Ketterer, but Chris Mays needs only 49 yards to reach 1,000 for the year. They don't throw it a lot. When they do, they go to Ian Skornog. He has 6 catches on the year. Taylor Adams also has 7. The offensive line is a huge story. The 305-pound Chris McGraw and the 325-pound Hunter Whitenack, who is getting lots of D1 looks. 2nd and 5. They give it to Chris Mays, looking for some room, and Mays then buries his head and goes forward for close to first down yardage. They'll mark it right at the 30-yard line. If that's the case, he's got a first down. Well, they put it a little bit short. It'll be 3rd and short. Let's quickly look at the Central defense for you now. Across the front line, you see Decker, Holman, Smith, and Rodney McGraw is getting a lot of D1 looks. Drew Stimac is back from an injury and has played well in his return. Michael Etchertia getting the start at cornerback tonight, but in that secondary, really keep an eye on number 29, Kenneth Dennis, the strong safety. He's very active back there. On 3rd and short, they give it to Mays, and he didn't make it. Mays stacked up by that Blue Blazer defense. Rodney McGraw leading the charge along with help from Will Branch.
Looks like they lost maybe a yard, 2 yards on that play. It brings up a 4th down. Now, I know they are deep in their own territory here. They do like to go for it on 4th down. They're lining up like they are going to go for it.
Ketterer can punt if need be. But let's see if they have him punt here or hand it off to Mays. 4th and 1, it's Ketterer himself, and Ketterer has the first down up to the 32-yard line. Boy, the right side of the line for New Prairie really got some surge right there.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things we're kind of evaluating tonight, too, especially with this Central defense, is Mishawaka gave up big chunks of yards and big touchdowns, whereas Penn was able to kind of shut them down. So did Penn give Central the blueprint on how to stop this Cougar offense?
New Prairie will chew up a lot of clock. It's a little bit like playing Navy. You are only going to get very few possessions, and you've got to make them pay off. Man in motion, and they pitch it to Wyatt Kamichek, and Kamichek meets Rodney McGraw and Vinny Ambrose. And McGraw and Ambrose combine for the tackle after a pickup of 2.
KC Tree is proud to sponsor your New Prairie Cougars. Your local professional tree service company wishes the Cougars a great game. KC Tree, specializing in storm damage, difficult tree removal, stump grinding, and more. Call 574-674-7722 for any tree service. KC Tree, serving the community. Go Cougars.
2nd down and 7. Again, a man in motion. It's Skornog this time. He gets to the outside and slammed down hard by Terrence Williams. But Ian Skornog has the first down. It's sponsored by KC Tree as he gets up to the 43-yard line. And you get another look on the replay courtesy of South Bend Orthopedics. Skornog tripping over his own man that time as he went right over Tyler Graber. So 1st and 10 from its own 43. The drive starting back at the 20. A lot of misdirection in that backfield. Ketterer wants to pitch and does. Chris Mays tripped up. The man that got to him first for Elkhart Central was Kenneth Dennis, the strong safety, but Mays able to get it out to the 48-yard line, pick up a 5.
Central had that really covered very well, but the thing that Ketterer did is he waited so long to pitch that he made Central actually commit before he made that pitch, because they had it in the backfield, but he waited so long. He just did a great job, and they were able to pick up 4.5 yards there.
So tough to be patient on that pitch. On 2nd and 5. They give it to Kamichek. Kamichek tries to cut back inside, and Rodney McGraw will have none of it. McGraw, who is getting all kinds of Big Ten interest, loves to pass rush, but the 6'6", 235-pound junior knows he's going to be needed on run defense tonight.
Leo's Barbershop is proud to sponsor the New Prairie Cougars, your local barber. Leo wishes the Cougars football team and his staff a great game. Leo's Barbershop has been part of the New Carlisle community for over 34 years and welcome everyone to his barbershop, 511 West Michigan Street in New Carlisle.
Ketterer with a rare pass attempt under fire, tries to scramble for the first down and gets past midfield. He'll be a 2.5 yards short of the first down, and decision time now for Russ Radke. He went for it on 4th and 1 deep in his own territory. Will he do it on 4th and a long 2, almost 3?
Central got him in the position they wanted to. They wanted to get him into 3rd and long. They were able to do that, but Ketterer with great feet and great awareness was able to pick it up at least some yards to give him the opportunity to go for this 4th down.
And New Prairie will go for it on 4th and 3 from the Blazer 49. Ketterer with Mays to his right. Ketterer looks to throw. Has time, fires, and Skornog makes the catch up at the 40-yard line. It's a first down sponsored by KC Tree for Ian Skornog, his 7th reception of the year, as Chase Ketterer, who likes to throw the football, says, I just don't get a lot of opportunities, but he shows a good arm under pressure.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. Not only under pressure, but that's a tough throw to the out there, especially with the defender there almost cutting underneath it. He had to get it high enough to get it over that defender as well, but yet not too high to throw it out of bounds. What a great throw there. Big pickup, another 4th down pickup, and we'll see how this Central defense holds up. They've been out on the field for over 6 minutes now.
Well, this is the 11th play of the drive right here for New Prairie. They're still only at the Blazer 39. It's Chris Mays off the right side. He gets bottled up but keeps the feet moving, and Mays finally tied up by Will Branch at the 35-yard line, but a pickup of 4, and boy, does Mays run hard.
Yeah, just another runner that they have. I mean, you can see why he's closing in on 1,000 yards on the season. Just a great hard runner, hits that hole hard, and does his job, picks up that 4 or 5 yards that he needs to every down.
Mays broke his clavicle last year playing for the Cougars. Had been a 3-sport athlete, not sure if he's going to do that this year after his senior year of football is done. It's 2nd and 6, New Prairie with over 6 minutes of possession on this drive. Blazers have not touched the football yet. Here's Ketterer keeping himself off the right side, bouncing off tacklers and getting the first down. Chase Ketterer all the way down to the 27-yard line. Pickup of 8 on the play and another first down sponsored by KC Tree.
Life is busy, and Little Caesars Pizza understands. Their fast service and great low prices will have you taken care of and out the door in no time. Little Caesars hot and ready items are ready to go when you are. One-topping pizzas, wings, breadsticks, and just minutes away from their oven to your table with 5 locations in Elkhart. Remember to use their app and order with pickup at the portal to avoid the lines. Little Caesars Pizza.
Ketterer with time, throws and has his man. Wyatt Kamichek makes his 8th catch of the year, and Kamichek all the way down to the 7-yard line for another first down sponsored by KC Tree. And New Prairie starting to air it out a little bit with Chase Ketterer tonight. Look at this ball.
Another great throw right on the money by Chase, just showing his versatility and showing that they're able to open it up, and that's going to open up the running game just as much by being able to pass.
So 1st and goal from the Blazers 7. Central only gives up about 36 passing yards a game, but they've been hurt for a couple of passes on this drive. Mays going up the middle, Mays to the 1. Vinny Ambrose made the touchdown saving tackle, but Chris Mays doing some good work here in the early going.
New Prairie coming in up on 7 minutes now, just over 7 minutes of this first quarter in this first drive. Sustaining the drive, running the clock, keeping that Central defense out on the field.
This has been vintage New Prairie football on this opening drive. Mays to the right of Ketterer. Ketterer himself. Ketterer did not make it. Will Branch, despite having a club on that left arm, he broke his knuckle hitting it against a helmet earlier this season. So it's well bandaged up, but that didn't stop him from wrapping up Ketterer back at the 3. A loss of 2 on the play. You get the other look from SBO.
Yeah, great job by the defense there, really coming all out. Here they're going to really pack it in now for a false start.
Oh, that's a huge penalty on Tyler Graber of New Prairie. It'll march them back 5, and it'll be 3rd and goal from the 8.
Another long 3rd down for New Prairie here. They had one back before. Their priority is to pick up 4 or 5 yards here, get in that manageable 4th down situation.
They have converted 2 4th downs already on this drive, and they'll go with a trips formation. When was the last time you saw this from the Cougars? Ketterer rolls to his left, fires to the end zone, touchdown New Prairie. Wyatt Kamichek with his touchdown catch, his 5th of the year. For Chase Ketterer, that's his 7th touchdown pass of the year, and the Cougars are on the board.
Well, all 3 passes that he's completed, he's had guys pretty much wide open, nobody even really close to him. Here you can see a great look of it on our SBO replay. Just fire, a guy who throws up his hands, they're just too concerned about the run, I think, at this point.
Look at the bullet that he threw, too.
Yeah.
To Kamichek in the end zone. So here is Nolan Samansky, the all-time leading PAT man at New Prairie High School for the extra point. And with 3:49 to go in the first quarter, Elkhart Central finally get a chance to touch the football. Chase Ketterer and the Cougars play keep away, and they take a 7-0 lead here in the first on 46. And this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you by Intera Credit Union, because they live here too. Josh Shattuck hanging his head after his defense just gave up a 16-play, 80-yard drive that took 8 minutes and 11 seconds off the clock. Other than that, New Prairie didn't do a whole lot.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is how's this Central defense going to be the rest of the game. And the big thing here is as Central fumbles the ball and the kickoff gets it back, but how are they going to respond in this situation now?
Well, Dominic Davis pounces on the loose ball back at the 18-yard line, so not ideal field position for the Blue Blazers. As that one literally hit him right in the numbers.
It's one of those take your eyes off for just a second, and then also you're trying to catch it off your pads. You need to catch that ball in your hands.
Isaiah Chandler, a somewhat unheralded quarterback for Elkhart Central. The senior is completing over 60% of his passes, has thrown for 1,021 yards. Just not a lot of touchdowns because usually they give it to Brownlee, and he does most of the damage.
We saw him last year as well and really come onto the scene last year, and he's a vital part of this offense.
Bobby Kiefer, the tight end, in motion. There's Mark Brownlee, and Brownlee gets some room on the outside. A block from Roderick Ballard. Brownlee dancing to the outside, goes to the 28-yard line, and they'll spot him down there. A pickup of 10 on the play, and he's got a first down where they spot it. It's sponsored by Pulse Gas Station. Let's meet the Blue Blazer offense. We've told you about Brownlee. Dominic Davis, a really versatile weapon, over 700 yards. Roderick Ballard, the leading receiver on the team. Good size on the offensive line. Decker going to Central Michigan. We told you about Holman. All around, very good offense.
This Cougar defense is really going to have to pursue, and they really did that last play, but Central had some great blocking, and you can see what type of runner Brownlee is.
Now Chandler on play action to Roderick Ballard. He could not get away from the tackle of Bobby Seifert that time, and Seifert makes the stop at about the 36-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play as we meet the New Prairie defense. It's the Weinberg brothers on the twins on the defensive end spots. The linebackers headed up by Brandon Kasinger, the leading tackler. Bobby Seifert has been very active in that backfield this year with 44 tackles. New Prairie has been tough against the run this year, only allowing 111 rushing yards per game. But this is an Elkhart Central team that is as balanced as any offense really in the Northern Indiana Conference. From the 36, it's Brownlee up the middle, and Brownlee short of the first down by about a half yard.
Nice patience up there by Brownlee, really finding the hole, taking what the offense or the defense gives him, and getting up there and making it manageable here, 3rd and 1. Pulse Gas Station goes beyond expectations and meeting lifestyle choices of the Elkhart community. Other gas stations try to be simply good or just reliable. Pulse goes beyond to ensure awesome products and awesome service. The entire Pulse culture is based around the concept of delivering awesome. Pulse Gas Station on County Road 6 in Southwest Street, Elkhart.
Brownlee up the middle gets the first down, sponsored by Pulse Gas Station, just past the Blazer 40. Down there at the bottom of the pile is Corey Weinberg. Weinberg, interesting young man. He's a lifeguard and a member of the swimming and track teams, but he's also the executive vice president of the State Future Business Leaders Association. So a young man with a really good head on his shoulders.
Yeah, definitely. And we see that a lot with a lot of our student athletes that we see throughout every week, every high school game. And these kids nowadays, man, they got so much going on, but yet they find time to give back to their community, that's for sure.
From the 40, Chandler gives it to Brownlee, trying to get around the right side, and he's got some room. Brownlee in the New Prairie territory all the way down to the 40, a pickup of 20 on the play. He had some lead blocking from Corey Warlick that time that helped spring him.
That's the 2nd time they've run that play. They ran it, I believe, on 1st down, and they really seal that corner and give him room. A lot of times those are the plays where he just breaks it loose, but great pursuit by the New Prairie backside.
Ian Skornog and Tyler Graber combine on the tackle. After Brownlee picks up 20, he's trying to get to 1,500 yards. He came in needing 60 tonight. 4,424 career yards for Mark Brownlee coming in.
Central's first possession. Cougars had 1 possession for the touchdowns. We're under a minute to go in the first.
Chandler on play action finds Ballard on the sideline. Nifty catch at the 26. It's good for a first down, sponsored by Pulse Gas Station. For Roderick Ballard, whose father played at Cassopolis, that's his 22nd catch of the year. You're going to get a really nice look from Matt Kowalski in our field camera right there. Got the 1 foot down. Ian Skornog was right with him. Inside a minute to go already here in the first quarter. Time flies when you're having fun. Brownlee tries to cut back. That's a bad idea. Corey Weinberg's right there.
That's one of those plays right there where he tried to cut it completely back. All he needed to do was just cut it right off of that block, because they didn't get the corner sealed. They pushed the corner, or the end ended up coming around and actually making them go back inside, which they want to do. Just needs to cut right off that guy. Cut right off him and then back to the outside, and he's good to go.
The play clock and the game clock nearly synced up here. It's 2nd and 12. I think Josh Shattuck wants to run the play before the quarter expires. I think Josh is trying to find out what's going to happen here.
Oh.
And they have called a delay of game on Elkhart Central. Shattuck talking to the officials, and let's meet our officiating crew tonight. It's not a crew that we're that familiar with. Jay Squibb, Chris Galvis, Luke Lucini, Brian Metcalf, and Jack Peters. But the clock has expired. Shattuck going to talk things over with the officials here. I don't think he's going to win this one, and we'll take a timeout. New Prairie has come out on fire tonight, trying to ruin senior night here at Elkhart Central. Lots of action in the first quarter, but not a whole lot of scoring. There it is, Ketterer to Kamichek for the touchdown, 7-0 Cougars on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by IU South Bend, fulfilling the promise.
Well, wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now is your chance, because Reshcore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. Working for this steadily growing company isn't just a job, it's a career. To learn more about joining the Reshcore family, visit reschcor.com.
Well, they have waved off the flag for delay of game, so it's going to be 2nd and 12 as we start the second quarter. Normally, Bo, we would come to you for a Bills Heating sideline report, but with Bob still recuperating, you've moved up here. But Your analysis of the first quarter.
Well, we've had lots of possessions out there, well, no, we haven't. A lot of sustained drives for New Prairie, and it's kind of what we thought these offenses were going to do is these defenses are going to give up a little bit of yards here and there, but they're going to come up with that big play every once in a while so the offense doesn't have those big plays. We're in for a great game, and I can't wait to see the next 3 quarters, partner.
Anything surprise you in that first quarter?
Yeah. New Prairie throwing the ball a little bit more than I thought they would. Normally they throw maybe 3 times a game, and he dropped back 4 times, ran 1 of those times, but 3 of those passes were completed, big passes as well for that drive.
Now, Elkhart Central is a team that does throw the ball somewhat. They've averaged about 15 passes a game, and perhaps a passing situation here on 2nd and 12 to open the second quarter. But it's Brownlee up the middle, and Brownlee thrown down by Corey Weinberg. We've called his name a lot here in the early going, at least on this first Blazer drive. Weinberg stops Brownlee after a rush of 2, and so it's 3rd and 10 for Elkhart Central.
It'll be interesting to see if Central maybe goes to some dropbacks. On that play there, New Prairie's defensive line didn't actually rush like they were rushing through. They just kind of held still. And a lot of times when you're trying to stop a good running back, you have your defensive line not rush, and they just kind of hold their position and play kind of a zone and wait for the running back to come to you. That way you don't get out of position.
We'll see if they change it here. Chandler pumps, fires, and it's dropped. It's not really dropped. That would have been a heck of a catch by Ballard.
Yeah, they came with an all-out blitz there. Brought all their linebackers as well and really put the pressure on Chandler.
Now 4th and 10, Josh Shattuck has a kicker capable of making a 42-yarder in Brian Ramirez. But I think Josh has come to the realization that field goals aren't going to get the job done against New Prairie tonight, and he's going to go for it on 4th and 10. Remember, New Prairie had 2 4th down conversions on its drive. Blazers pick up the blitz. Throw
Wide
deep.
open.
Dominic Davis, touchdown, Elkhart Central. Dominic Davis with his 22nd grab of the year and his 2nd touchdown catch. And just like that, the Blazers are an extra point away from being tied.
We saw him in the Memorial game earlier this year. Lots of speed. I saw him on the field, and I was like, maybe they're going to run and reverse him because he's got some great speed. But when he got out there, he just split him.
But credit that offensive line with a terrific blitz pickup because it gave Chandler enough time to get Davis deep.
Yeah.
Here's Ramirez for the extra point to tie it up. It's on its way. It's up. It's good. We're tied at 7.
Yeah, that offensive line did a better job that time because, again, they came out all-out blitz, linebackers, everything. Here you can see a great replay of it. Look at all the linebackers, everybody coming up, hesitating.
And Davis was lonely.
Ran a little crossing route there. He was the inside man to start. Ran to the outside man cut across.
So both offenses score on their opening possessions. The Blazers needed a little less time. They took 4 minutes and 41 seconds off the clock on a 82-yard drive, and it took 10 plays.
The original Bonnie Doon Drive-In on Lincoln Way has a bit more time till the season is over. Stop by this weekend for a delicious Bonnie burger, fries, and a shake. For over 81 years, Bonnie Doon has been a part of the community. Great food and rich, creamy ice cream make Bonnie Doon a favorite for a cool treat. Open yet till November 1st. Bonnie Doon Drive-In on Lincoln Way.
But the only people that aren't happy with the way this game's going so far are the 2 defensive coordinators. Here's Brian Ramirez with the kickoff. It's a line drive taken at the 5-yard line. That's Wyatt Kamichek, who had the touchdown earlier, and he works his way up to the 27-yard line. So 22-yard return. Best starting field position for either team tonight.
Feeney's Hometown Goods wishes all the New Prairie players the best of luck. Go Cougars! And don't forget to check out Feeney's Hometown Goods for a great selection of local artisan goods.
It is 1st and 10 for New Prairie. Chase Ketterer with the 2nd possession of the game for the Cougars. Ketterer looking patiently, finds some running room and picks up about 5 yards on the play. Looked like Rodney McGraw tackled him there. It's interesting, Chase and Rodney have been together the last 2 weekends. Not on a football field. Well, on a football field, I suppose. On the sideline over at the University of Notre Dame, where they're both getting recruited somewhat.
That recruiting process is such a great thing for a high school athlete, going there and seeing some of the big games and what they put on for you. I'm sure 27 years ago is a lot different than what it is now. But speaking from experience, but I tell you what, I bet it's so different nowadays and a lot better
we
as
have
well.
A timeout on the field with 10:25 to go. First half tied at 7-46. This edition of the TV46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you by South Bend Orthopedics, the team physicians for the University of Notre Dame since 1947. Russ Radke, he has not quite been coaching since 1947. He may have been alive that long. I'm not exactly sure how old Russ is, but he's been coaching now as a head coach for 43 years, 365 wins. He started his career at North Judson, then went to Connorsville, Griffith, and he's been at New Prairie now for 8 years. Loves running his farm down in North Judson. You get him talking about tractors, he'll talk about that more than football.
Old school, that's for sure. He is an old school coach.
2nd and 5. It's Chris Mays bobbing and weaving off the left side. Then Jonathan Decker wraps him up and sends him out of bounds. You'll meet Mr. Decker at halftime. He's one of our TCU Student Athletes of the Week going to Central Michigan.
Big step up by the Central defense. You can see somebody is down for the Blazers on the field.
And they're waving the trainer out on the field to take a look. And that would be Kendall Reef, backup linebacker who's down on the field. Reef, a 6'2 senior.
Think Pyramid Equipment for your snowplow needs. Sales, service, and installation of residential and commercial grade snowplows, parts, and salt spreaders. Pyramid offers military, police, and firemen discounts. Find us at pyramid-equipmentinc.com.
Well, a lot of you have wondered, where will we go for round 1 of the tournament? We will be at School Field in South Bend, where Todd Stamage, who has done a great job turning around the Washington program, and Steve Moriarty, who's done the same thing down in Mentone with Valley, will have their teams get together for round 1 of the tournament. Both Valley and Washington 6-2 entering play tonight. They'll be in the sectional 26 lid lifter. You'll see it next Friday night 11, Saturday morning at 9 on your home for high school sports, TV 46. There's a good look at Kendall Reef, and the good news is he seems to be coming off under his own power and no worse for wear.
Big third down here for the Cougars and the Central defense, especially to see if they can get off the field early.
3rd and 5. It's Ketterer himself trying to get through people and somehow did to the 35-yard line, but they're still 2 yards short of a first down. Boy, Russ Radke has believed in his offensive line all night. Will he continue to do that here?
Yeah, it looked like Central had him in the backfield, but a great job of really spinning out of it and really lunging forward and at least picking up a couple yards there to make it another manageable 4th down.
My goodness, 4-down territory is anywhere within the city limits of Elkhart for New Prairie tonight.
Ketter has kept the ball every time on 4th downs.
And he'll do it again here. And Ketterer did not get there. Will Branch stopped him at the 36, and the Blazers hold on downs.
Big stop by this Blazer defense, really coming up strong.
Will Branch is a kid who last year was in the Blazer drum line. The drum line director left, and Will Branch said, I'd like to be part of the football team. Well, I think Josh Shattuck is happy to have him. So the Blazers take over in New Prairie territory at the 36.
Big opportunity for this Central team. Go up with another score.
Do you try to strike quickly right away here with a long pass?
This might be something where you can see on the other side coming around for, yep.
Chandler,
There he is.
Brownlee on the wheel
Yep.
route. Kiss him goodbye. Touchdown, Elkhart Central.
Out of the backfield. I was going to say, it looked like they had something in the plan there. As soon as Davis came flying across there, looked like they were going to try to do something. What a great play. Brownlee out of the backfield. Here you can see him. Look how quick he gets out of the backfield. Might have started a little too quick, but
didn't matter. Nobody was going to catch him. 10th catch of the year, his first touchdown for Isaiah Chandler, his 4th touchdown pass of the year, but his 2nd of the night. And the Blazers have taken the lead. Ramirez with the extra point. It's up and good. That did not take long. And Elkhart Central is out in front of the #1 ranked team in Class 4A with a couple of touchdown passes from Isaiah Chandler. The Blazers lead at 14-7 on 46. And this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV 46 for 30 years. There you see Mark Brownlee, his first touchdown catch of the year, but it's hardly the first time he's been in the end zone. His 24th touchdown of the year.
just a great offensive explosion for Central there. Great stop on defense, and they really capitalized fast. Ooh,
Ramirez falls down as he makes the kick. It's fielded by Kamichek at the 4. Kamichek up the middle of the field to the 36.
Right where they left off from their 4th down from the 36-yard line. Imagineering Finishing Technologies is celebrating 60 years as the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. 60 years of serving the automotive, medical, aerospace, military defense industries. Go to iftworldwide.com for more info. Like the teams in tonight's game, we're working for a great finish.
Chase Ketterer and his New Prairie Cougars have been behind before this year. They trailed against Penn just a couple of weeks ago. Ketterer will keep it himself here, dart up the middle of the field and get to the 43-yard line. Bulldog down there by Dominic Russo, the backup linebacker. Let's take one more look at the touchdown, Bo, from another angle. And you can see up here, you talked about maybe Brownlee started too soon. I think he timed it just about right.
Yeah.
But no matter what, a lot of misdirection, a lot of moving parts on that play. And quite frankly, it's not a route that Central runs very often.
Correct.
Here's Chris Mays trying to get around to the outside. Mays with a first down, sponsored by KC Tree, as he bangs into Blazer territory at the 48. Kenneth Dennis on to stop that time.
Good play set up by the offensive linemen there, really sealing that side and sustaining their blocks, and Mays really following his blocks well. Big pickup for New Prairie.
And a timeout called by Elkhart Central as Cody French and Trayvon Curry want to talk to the defense.
Studio 509, your official hairstylist of Coach Gum. Studio 509 wishes New Prairie a great game. Stop into your local hairstylist, Jill Cooper. Jill personally wishes her son Tyler, number 12, and the whole New Prairie staff a great season. Go Cougars.
Let me tell you, Bill Gum's hair looks good. I don't know about anything else on him, but his hair does look good. Let's take a look at what's coming up on college football this Saturday. The Irish are idle, but we've got a Big Ten doubleheader for you on Pulse FM. It starts at noon. Purdue going over to Kinnick Stadium to take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. And then at 3:30, Indiana. Can they get a road win? If you're ever going to do it, it's going to be in College Park against Maryland. Purdue and IU both in action Saturday on Pulse FM. Elkhart Central with a 14-7 lead, but New Prairie on the march into Blazer territory at the 48-yard line. Looking at 1st and 10. Kamichek in motion. Ketterer throws a lateral out to Kamichek. This will go down as a running play, and Kamichek is bottled up right as he got to the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit by Vinny Ambrose that time, the safety for Elkhart Central.
Our thanks to the team from St. Andrews Products for making our crew look good. They can do the same for your school or corporation. Call 800-628-9922 or email at sales@standrewcorp.com. Your expectations become our standard, and our answer is always yes. Now, what's the question?
There you go.
Hey,
It's only
is that
taken us
how-
to last week of the regular season. I think we finally nailed that
We
one.
finally nailed that read. Now I'll mess up the next time I read
don't
it.
worry about it. 2nd and 11. Loss of 1 on the play for Kamichek. Here's Ketterer looking to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. Looks downfield. Still on his feet. And Ketterer upended at the 45-yard line. Boy, Chase Ketterer showing his athleticism there. And the Blue Blazer that knocked him down was Vinny Ambrose again.
Central with a big look. Here you can see it on the SBO replay. Almost had him there, but really should have had him right there. The little fake, couldn't grab.
It's
Had
that
the
cast
club.
on
Yep.
the hand of Will Branch that kept him from being able to wrap up.
Yep, in that situation, when you got that cast, you don't realize that you got to slow down and break down in that situation and just take the legs out. Can't be reaching.
Pick up a 5 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and 6. Ketterer, play action, rolls out, has time, fires downfield, and it's incomplete. New Prairie fans want a little pass interference there, but the coverage ruled to be good by Terrence Williams.
Zoll's Elevator and Feed Mill, your place to go for your animal feed needs. Located in downtown New Carlisle, stop in and visit us. Visit our holiday open house Saturday, November 23rd, 9 a.m. to noon. That's Zoll's Elevator and Feed Mill.
4th and 6, apparently too long for Russ Radke's liking, so he'll send the punt unit out there on the field. Ben Franck is the punter, the sophomore averaging 33 yards a boot.
I think they need to have some good field position situation here. Pin Central down tight in their territory. They cannot afford to go down 21-7 before half.
Franck end over end. Ambrose will let it hit. It rolls inside the 10, inside the 5, and all the way down to the 2-yard line. What a punt by Franck. 42 yards with no return. And you talk about pinning them deep. The Blazers looking 98 yards to the other end zone.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really great call there and really great punt as well. Really got to pin them down there because you got to remember, Central kicked off to start this game, so they will get the ball to start the second half. And if they go down and score here, I mean, that would put them up big going into the second half.
Reminder, our scoreboard sponsored by our friends at Intera Credit Union since 1932. Intera Credit Union has been invested in our local communities. Join in at interacu.com.
Down to 10 seconds on the time clock, 7, 6 on the play clock.
Oh, the official wants that play clock reset, but Chandler got the play off anyway, and he's got a man open. And Wyatt Kamichek, very lucky because he got turned around. The ball was underthrown for Jacob Holt. If they hit that one in stride, it would probably set a record at Elkhart Central for the longest pass play in school history.
Yeah, Chandler just underthrew it a little bit, and New Prairie's luckily they didn't get a pass interference, but what a great job of turning around and jumping for the ball.
Well, and he made contact with the ball. That's another reason why the PI wasn't called. So 2nd and 10. The Blazers showing a little bit of an aerial attack here tonight with Isaiah Chandler. The senior hands it off to Mark Brownlee, and he just squirts out of the end zone. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
A little slip there by Brownlee. He actually had a pretty big hole there if he was able to get through. If he would have got through there, it could have been a long play as well. So 2 missed opportunities for Central here, back-to-back plays.
3rd and 10 with 6 minutes to go, 2nd quarter. It's Brownlee trying to get out of the end zone, and he does. Brownlee gets up to the 9-yard line before Tyler Graber brings him down. But on 4th and 3, the punt unit will come out for the Blazers. And just what you said, Russ Radke wanted out of this. Pin them deep, force them to do some things they don't want to do offensively.
Yeah, get them out of the rhythm a little bit. Of course, they tried to take the big hitter right away. Had the guy there, just Chandler underthrew it just a little bit. But that put him in the 2nd long and then 3rd and long, and now you're going to see him punt here.
Brian Ramirez, the punter, averages 37 yards a kick this year. He gets off an end-over-end kick, but he shanked it out of bounds, and New Prairie's going to take over at the 24-yard line, maybe the 23.
Wow, big field position change here for the Cougars. Great job of They went for it on 4th down all game, then they decided to punt it, get that field position, and they were able to do it.
Go back to the number one key that Russ Radke gave us this week. Get field position from special teams. They did it right there.
Yep, on both sides, defense and offense now.
So 1st and 10 from the 23. Ketterer, the quarterback. Chris Mays is running back. And it's Ketterer up the middle, and he's got room to run as he crashes forward to the 15-yard line. He ran right over Michael Echartia that time, who made the stop.
New Prairie High School Touchdown Club, parents, families, and friends wish our 2019 Cougar players and coaches all the best. Win with pride, play with gusto, and leave it all on the field. Loyalty, pride, and dedication, the Cougar standard.
Always appreciate the support from the New Prairie Touchdown Club. 2nd and 3 for the Cougars here. Ketterer rides Chris Mays as long as he can, then pulls it out and runs forward for 5 yards and a first down. It's sponsored by KC Tree. Chase Ketterer exudes patience at the quarterback slot.
Yeah, and with this offense, you have to have some patience with it because you have to let it set up a little bit with your blockers. They have so many moving parts with that offensive line, so many guys pulling and filling that gap, and you have to really read off of that, and you have to be patient.
It is 1st and 10 from the Blazer 11. Look at that lineup there for New Prairie. 9 players up by the line of scrimmage. Ketterer keeps it himself, has blockers in front, and dives forward to the 3-yard line. Pickup of 8 that time for the New Prairie quarterback. Welcome to everybody who might be watching tonight on our Facebook live stream. It's brought to us by our friends at Reshcore. We appreciate their support tonight. Hope you're enjoying this one wherever you may be. Send us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. 2nd and 3 from the Blazer 4. Hunter Whitenack lines up just to the right of the center. And that's where Ketterer's running. And Ketterer hauled down by Will Branch. Well, Branch was able to wrap him up that time at about the 3-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Yeah, pick up a 1 there. And remember, they don't have to get in the end zone here. They can get down to the 1 for a first down. So they don't necessarily need to get all the way in the end zone and still have opportunities here on 3rd down.
Plenty of time for the Cougars here with 3 minutes left to go in the first half. And again, it's Ketterer and Mays in the backfield and everybody else up front. It's Ketterer going forward. Ketterer to the goal line. Ketterer did not get in, but he got the first down. Where they've spotted it at the 1-yard line, that would be a first down for New Prairie.
Yeah, just over the 1-yard line, gives them that 1st and goal in New Prairie. And Coach Russ Radke has kept it in Ketterer's hand this whole drive. Running off tackle.
1st and goal from the 1. Now the full house backfield behind Ketterer. Just more bodies to give him a push. No, it's Chris Mays to the end zone for the touchdown. His 17th of the year. And the Cougars an extra point away from tying this one up.
McDonald Physical Therapy is proud to have Michiana's top physical therapist known for quality of care and patient focus. Remember, McDonald Physical Therapy when you need to get back into the game.
So Nolan Szymanski, the nephew of our friend Bob Nagel, lines up to do the kicking here for the extra point. Nolan with 126 career PATs, broke his brother Colin's record. Sure that went over well at the house.
It always civil rivalry. It always goes over well.
Whistles blown and flags thrown before that kick was made, and we'll see what happened.
It's like offsides maybe?
Yeah, but I think they blew the play dead. It is offsides against Central. See if Russ Radke is tempted to go for 2. No, he just wants to decline it and have Szymanski kick from where he already is. By the way, we know that our friend Bob Nagel watching on Facebook Live tonight, as is the legendary Elkhart head coach Tom Kurth. Welcome to both Hall of Famers. As Szymanski's extra point is up, and it is good. 2:26 to go before the intermission. We're all knotted up at 14.
A lot of possession time for the New Prairie Cougar offense. What I'm interested to see in the second half is we still have 2.5 minutes here to go, is this Central defense. How are they going to hold up in this second half, and how are they going to recoup? Because New Prairie's had the ball an awful lot this first half.
Yeah, time of possession when we do our halftime stats, and unfortunately that's the one that I have to keep. It's not going to be pretty. That was a well, it wasn't exactly 6 minutes, but it was close to that in the swing that New Prairie just had, because the Blazers only had the ball for 3 plays down at their end of the field. So New Prairie getting ready to do the kicking here with Luke Ackerson doing the kickoff honors. Dominic Davis, the deep man for Elkhart Central. Ackerson's end-over-end boot is taken down at the 11, but that was not Davis who took it. Looks like it might be Vinny Ambrose who brings it on out to the 27-yard line. So Elkhart Central's problem, as we mentioned in the open, has been being close in these games but not being able to seal the deal. 8 of the Blazers' 9 losses that they've encountered, their last 9, have been by a combined 23 points. That includes a 5-point loss to Mishawaka this year and a 2-point loss to Penn last week.
8 games, 23 points, not per game, 23 total points in those 8 games. Just so close in the last 2 years.
So here is Mark Brownlee trying to get around the outside and nothing doing. He's tripped up nicely by Taylor Adams, the middle linebacker, coming out with some good pursuit there. Adams had 13 tackles in New Prairie's win over Mishawaka, and he knifes right behind Sean Holman that time to get around the ankles of Brownlee.
Yeah, that was a block on the backside that Holman wasn't able to get to because he was coming out front, and they came from the back and able to track down Brownlee in that situation.
See the clock in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Chandler on play action, too high for Roderick Ballard, and it's incomplete.
Teachers Credit Union understands the importance of growing your future. Whether you're growing your family, your square footage, or your business, Teachers Credit Union is here for you with financial solutions that will help you succeed. Visit tcunet.com to start growing your future today. They're federally insured by the NCUA, and they're an equal housing opportunity.
So Josh Shattuck signals in the play. Still 13 on the play clock. Minute 44 to go before halftime. New Prairie trying to force another Blazer punt here. Chandler, play action, Dominic Davis, and he had nowhere to go. Taylor Adams was right there waiting for him. And Russ Radke and New Prairie will use a timeout here with 1:36 left.
Is that Chris Mays, I believe, was following him almost like a one-on-one. As soon as he went out and started out in motion out to the side there, it looked like Mays followed him all the way around.
Mays had not played any defense this year until this week. But Russ Radke really looking at this game as almost their first playoff game and trying to get guys ready for roles that they might have to do in the playoffs. Now, Mays played defense in his prior time at New Prairie, but this year he was coming back from the broken clavicle, had some concussion problems this year. They wanted to ease him back in. Well, now there's no time for easing.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, Radke wants to really get these guys ready, and this is a great scenario for them to get ready for the playoffs. They're going to face teams like this throughout the playoffs, and it's important that they get prepared for it and use every opportunity they have, which is this is their last opportunity.
So Brian Ramirez, who only had a 22-yard punt his first time, handles this snap well and booms this one. Ian Skornog back at his 37. Flag thrown on the play. Skornog trying to get to the outside. Will Branch with the tackle at the 47, but we'll see what this flag is about back at the New Prairie 37.
Yeah, it looked like we possibly had a holding back there, so it looks like it will be coming back. But talking about get back in the game with South Bend Orthopedic, the team physicians for the University of Notre Dame since 1947. That's South Bend Orthopedic.
So this officiating crew, Jerry Squibb, our referee tonight, or Jay Squibb, I should say, signals that hold that you mentioned. It'll be a 10-yard penalty, so that'll push New Prairie back to its own 27-yard line. But The penalties have been few and far between tonight, which you would expect at this time of year. You've got to be cleaner now, don't you?
Yeah, well, especially when you got two teams that are ranked in the top 10 in their respective class. I mean, you're not gonna have those mental mistakes as much when you're getting teams with only 1 or 2 losses, Central with 2 and New Prairie with none at this time.
Wow, the flag was thrown at the 37, but the walk-off only goes back to the 35. So it'll be 1st and 10 from there for New Prairie. Minute 24 before half. They still have a timeout left. Ketterer's going to load up and go deep, and it is incomplete. He was looking for Wyatt Kamichek, but there was a person with him stride for stride on coverage that time. And it was Michael Lechartia that was able to stay with Kamichek and break up the pass.
Yeah, New Prairie trying to go for the gusto right there on the first play, trying to go deep. And you can see that. I mean, he's got a good arm. He put that out there, did not underthrow it.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 35. Taylor Adams now in the backfield with Ketterer. But it's Ian Skornog who takes the handoff, and Skornog knocked down right at the line of scrimmage.
It's like Josh might be calling timeout.
Kendall Reef made the tackle that time. Now, Josh Shattuck does have 2 timeouts, and he's going to use one of them right here with 1:09 to go before the half. So interesting, the chess match going on here.
Yeah, defense is really kind of starting to step up a little bit, and you know, you see an opportunity here. You got third and long for New Prairie, and Josh feels if they stop them here, regardless of kind of where New Prairie gets, unless they get maybe in a short 4th down situation. But I think they're going to punt it regardless if they get in a 4th down situation.
And Josh Shattuck and his Blue Blazers, his defense especially, have done a great job against New Prairie tonight, because this is typically one of the most, well, the most explosive attack in Northern Indiana. They score 44 points a game. Marion is 2nd on this list of scoring teams. Elkhart Central just off that list at 32.5. But to take a team that scores 44 points a game and hold them to 14, at least so far in the first half,
yeah,
that's a great job.
Yeah, it definitely is. That's a really solid job by the defense thus far.
Now, still 1:09 to go here before halftime. Ketterer on play action, gets away from Rodney McGraw, gets away from Jonathan Decker, and gets the first down, sponsored by KC Tree. Roderick Ballard knocked him out of bounds after a pickup of 12. New Prairie sideline lobbying for a late hit.
Yeah, it looked like the contact did happen right at the out-of-bounds line, but it was the guy kind of diving from about 3 yards inbounds and hit him out of bounds as he was going out.
So it's a 1st down and 10 from the New Prairie 47. Late coming onto the field is Tyler Graber, and he'll line up as a wideout. Ketterer rolling towards his trips formation. Throwing deep down the field for Kamichek. He's got it down at the 10, and touchdown New Prairie.
Wow, I was watching that before the play, and right when they snapped the ball, Elkhart Central defenders were still looking at the sideline when the ball was snapped, and they got a late start on that defensive play and were out of position when that play was snapped.
What a throw by Ketterer. He threw the ball about 50 yards in the air and put it right on the money for Wyatt Kamichek to make his 2nd touchdown catch of the night. That might be a New Prairie single-game record.
Yeah, Kamichek got behind the defenders, raised his arm and said, throw it to me, I'm wide open. And Ketterer got it to him, did not underthrow it, and got it right on money.
So here's Nolan Szymanski for the extra point out of the hold of Ian Skornog. And the kick is up, and it is good. And with 53 seconds to go before halftime, New Prairie, taking advantage of the Elkhart Central timeout, used a little bit of extra time to design a play and throw it down the field.
And it's just as we were talking about the scoring offense of 43 points and holding them, they get to halfway point at halftime.
Exactly. Well, that's why I said so far.
So far.
21-14 in favor of New Prairie in a back-and-forth game.
There's still 50 seconds here. Central's got a lot of speed. They got a lot of talent, and they can score just as quick as we saw in their second score. out of the backfield, Brownlee out of the backfield, they can score quick just as well.
We'll see if the Blazers can be explosive here as Luke Ackerson gets ready to put toe to leather. Ackerson with a high spinning kick that'll bounce and go sideways, and the Blazers barely do get on it that time, but Jacob Holt able to take the ball up to the 30-yard line. So a good job by Holt of keeping his poise through all that and taking the ball up the field.
One of the guys to keep an eye on here in the 45 seconds to go in the half is Dominic Davis, speedster for Central, one of those guys that can really hit that corner and be gone or beat a defender deep as well.
So let's see, we'll see who comes onto the field late here. This is Marcus Vanderswag. No, excuse me, Devon Billings coming onto the field, 2-7. Isaiah Chandler, quarterback, will throw out in the flat for Mark Brownlee, and Brownlee surrounded by white jerseys. And Brownlee taken down at the 23-yard line, lost 6 yards on the play, and that might just about do it for the
Brownlee
first half.
could have picked up maybe 4 or 5 yards on that screen. Again, he tried to cut back, clear back across the grain, and instead of running across the grain, he runs backwards and right back into the defenders, and here it looks like they're just going to let the time run out, and Central gets the ball to start the second half.
So an exciting half of football here at Rice Field in Elkhart as Elkhart Central goes to the locker room trailing top-ranked New Prairie by a count of 21-14. Don't go anywhere. We've got a lot coming up on our Mary's Match Be the Match halftime report, including our TCU Student Athletes of the Week. All kinds of emotion in Elkhart tonight. The Cougs lead by 7 after a half on 46. At halftime here at Rice Field in Elkhart, time to meet our TCU Student Athletes of the Week. They're brought to us by our friends at TCU Teachers Credit Union, who invite you to become a member. Go online to tcunet.com today. I'm joined by two terrific representatives of these academic institutions, Tim O'Laughlin of New Prairie, Jonathan Decker of Elkhart Central. We'll start with the visitors first. Tim is a cross-country runner getting ready for the Chesterton Regional tomorrow, representing the New Prairie Cougars, also runs track and doing a stellar job in the classroom. My goodness, cross-country and track are sports that require a lot of dedication, but so do academics. How do you balance it all out?
It's all about just knowing that you're fighting for something more, and when I'm in the classroom, I think about my team and knowing I got to get it done there first, and then I can compete.
Now, obviously, somebody had to instill that kind of value in you. You didn't just come up with it on your own. Who's responsible for that?
I think my parents they started it off, and then my sister Erin ran cross country before me, and she showed me how it's done and how you need to do it.
So it literally runs in the family.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about what your future plans are. I know you want to go to Purdue and study some engineering. What gave you that idea?
I think it's probably my family. I have a couple of uncles in the family who are engineers, and they seem to really like it. I've talked to them a lot, and I think it would be a good fit for me.
Does that play to your strengths as well, math and science and things like that?
Yeah, I've always been really good at math and science. English okay, but...
Well, I sometimes struggle with that as well. This is Tim O'Laughlin from New Prairie High School, our New Prairie Student Athlete of the Week. Over here, this is Jonathan Decker, one of the offensive and defensive linemen for the Elkhart Central Blue Blazers, who also is one of their top students here at Elkhart Central. I ask you the same thing I asked him. The commitment to football is impressive. The commitment to academics takes time too. How do you figure a way to balance it all out?
I've got some great teachers that have helped me along the way. Sometimes I struggle, but I can always figure out a way to get back to it.
We all struggle sometimes as well. I imagine you've got a very good support system at home. I know your mom is a frequent flyer on Facebook. She loves every time we post something about you. Who else has put values into you? Your parents and who else?
My parents are the big focus, but then my older sister, she's in college now, and she's helped me along the way.
So speaking of college, you recently made a decision as to where you're going to attend. Central Michigan has offered you a football scholarship, and you've decided to accept. What stood out about the Chippewa?
When I was down there, I really loved the family feeling. Coach Max, this is his first season. It'll be in his second season when I'm there, and I just want to be part of that.
What are you going to study up in Mount Pleasant?
Exercise science.
And what made you think of that?
I've gone to a chiropractor for the last 2 years, and I've job shadowed him, and I loved it. And so I was like, maybe I'll go and become a chiropractor.
He's caused some people to go to the chiropractor as well with some of those blocks. Good luck to you and the Blazers tonight.
Thank you.
That's Jonathan Decker from Elkhart Central. Tim O'Laughlin from New Prairie, our TCU Student Athletes of the Week. The feature brought to us by our friends at Teachers Credit Union. Find out how you can become a member. Visit them online at tcunet.com. We've got halftime highlights and stats coming up on this edition of the 46 Game of the Week. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you by the electrical workers of Local 153. They're making our communities brighter. Halftime here at Rice Field, the always entertaining Blue Blazer Brigade regaling this crowd with its halftime show as New Prairie leads Elkhart Central by a count of 21-14. Chuck Freeby and Bo Hunt high above the fray here at Elkhart. Have you not been entertained?
It definitely been an entertaining game. I think one of the biggest things you look at is Central is up 14-7 with the ball, with the opportunity to go up by 2 scores. But it was New Prairie getting that field position, punting them down deep, holding them down there, and then a bad punt by Central. 14 points later, they're up 21-14.
Also, New Prairie showing some versatility tonight, and they showed it in their opening possession as we show you how it got to be this way here in Elkhart tonight. Because after having a reputation as a running team, it's Chase Ketterer and Wyatt Kamichek. First for a first down, then for the first of their 2 touchdown passes tonight. And Russ Radke wondering, is this my team? It is your team, Russ, and Josh Shattuck had to find a way to come back in this one. The Blazers would. Opening possession of the second quarter, Isaiah Chandler to a lonely Dominic Davis. That tied the game at 7 at that point. Then Elkhart Central stops New Prairie on a 4th down, and they'll find Mark Brownlee on the wheel route coming out of the backfield for the touchdown. Blazers led at 14-7, but you mentioned a punt by New Prairie forced Central deep in its own territory. Chase Ketterer running the football, takes it down low, and then Chris Mays will take it on in. This tied the game. Later, Ketterer to Kamichek on the 53-yard strike, and it's 21-14 at the break. A look at the first half numbers makes it look like New Prairie has dominated this one.
Yeah, when you look at it, I mean, total yards are not quite 100 off. They're only about 80 off. But the biggest thing is that time of possession. 17 minutes to 6:42. That's the biggest thing that's going to linger on in the second half, because that's a lot of time that defense is out there taking a beating over and over again. They just offensive line blocking and blocking up front, hits. It wears on you as the time goes on, as the game goes on.
So we'll see if Elkhart Central can respond as the second half gets underway shortly. New Prairie leads at 21-14. This has been the Mary's Match Be the Match halftime report. Second half action comes your way shortly on TV 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. 21-14, New Prairie leads it at the break. We get ready for the third quarter. Normally we'd go downstairs for a Bills Heating sideline report. I can just turn to my right and get one now because Bo Hunt's up here with us tonight. But what kind of adjustments do you expect both teams to make, particularly Elkhart Central?
Well, when I look at Central, one of the biggest things offensively, it looks like Brownlee's trying to do a little bit too much with his plays. And I think Coach Shattuck, talked to him at halftime and maybe just said, hey, let's just stay within our system. You can make some big plays. Don't try to make every single play a touchdown. A couple of his cutbacks, he tried to cut so far back that the whole New Prairie Cougar offense was coming at him. Stay within yourself, make your plays, and we'll have big things happen. For the Cougars on their side, they want to keep sustaining drives. They want to run clock, and they want to keep picking up first down after first down after first down. and really just run that clock and keep that time of possession, like we saw at halftime, in their control here in the second half as well.
Some individual numbers from the first half, courtesy of our friend Scott Davidson from the South Bend Tribune. Chase Ketter, 16 rushes, 72 yards, but he was also 4 of 6 passing for 91 and 2 touchdowns. Chris Mays, 8 rushes for 31 yards. Mark Brownlee, 9 rushes, 43 yards. That doesn't sound bad, but when you compare that to what he normally is able to produce, let's put it this way. Brownlee's lowest total in a game so far this year came in the Mishawaka loss, and he still had 138 yards in that game.
I think the second half's going to come down to Chandler on offense. You know, their 14 points came from 2 touchdown passes, and I feel that that's the way they're going to have to go in the second. Not like they're going to abandon the run or anything like that, but just little things out of the backfield, hitting Brownlee and Davis out of the backfield as well, and going for that shot downfield.
Isaiah Chandler, by the way, in the first half, 5 of 8 for 76 yards. So Luke Ackerson has the ball on the tee. We're about ready for the third quarter to start. Central trails New Prairie by 7. Cougars put the boot to it. Little squib kick fielded well at the 22-yard line. That's Vinny Ambrose. Ambrose trying to find some running room and does, weaving his way through traffic. Vinny Ambrose across midfield or to the 48. What a return by the Elkhart Central baseball standout, Vinny Ambrose.
Looked like when he came back across, and it looked like Coach Shattuck was even asking for it, looked like they grabbed a hold of the face mask right here, right there, just a slip off, so it never actually grabbed a hold of it. Third quarter sponsored by R&B Company.
R&B Car Company is where you want to be. Reshcore sponsoring our Facebook live stream. I know a lot of you watching tonight. Some as far as other states like Libertyville, Illinois. Hello. There you see Isaiah Chandler. Solid first half at quarterback. He's going to come out chucking down the field. Jacob Holt couldn't quite get there. Good coverage by Ian Scornog.
Did not underthrow that ball, the one he has not underthrown. And if we get a good replay of it, here we do. You can see the receiver, and you can't see it great in this replay because we're going slow motion, but it looked like he slowed down and hesitated for a little bit instead of going full speed all the way down.
And Holt does have good speed, so Chandler trying to take that into consideration. 2nd and 10. Chandler, a senior, plays big in big games. 15 of 20 for 185 last week against Penn, but it's Brownlee going off the left side here. And Mark Brownlee dragging Taylor Adams to the New Prairie 47, a pickup of 6 on the play.
That's the Brownlee that's effective right there. Hitting that off tackle, going ahead, using his speed, using his power, and picking up a big 6 yards there on first down, or second down.
Yeah, so it's not 3rd and 4 now for Elkhart Central. Chandler got some movement along the line from New Prairie, and that might be a penalty that gets Elkhart Central a first down. It will be. It's sponsored by Pulse Gas Station is the first down. A little anxiety there from New Prairie's defensive line, and Jake Weinberg was the one who jumped.
KC Tree is proud to sponsor your New Prairie Cougars. Your local professional tree service company wishes the Cougars a great game. KC Tree, specializing in storm damage, difficult tree removal, stump grinding, and more. Call them at 574-674-7722.
Brownlee on the wheel route again. And he stepped out of bounds at the 18-yard line. A pickup of 24 on the play. You're going to get another look at it from South Bend Orthopedics, and you will see exactly where Brownlee steps out of bounds. Matt Kowalski running the field cam tonight. Made a juggling grab, but then right there is where toe met sideline.
Just a little step out there, but another great job by Chandler hitting Brownlee out of the backfield. We just talked about at halftime.
Holt has one-on-one coverage to the bottom of the screen, but Brownlee is running that way, and he is not stopping until he gets to the 3-yard line.
Well, they called him out of bounds at the 3. See if the sideline ref made another good call. I didn't think he was out until he crossed the finish line, the goal line.
First down sponsored by Pulse Gas Station. Keep an eye here as he gets down to the 3-yard line, and you will see that Brownlee indeed is out of bounds. He is actually out of bounds at about the 4.5.
Yep. Running so fast, it's almost like he's running the 100-yard dash to the finish line.
I don't know that feeling. You do.
Fast guy out there, and you saw once he hit that corner, he was able to turn that speed on.
Brownlee to the left side. Brownlee, touchdown, Elkhart Central. That was too easy. Mark Brownlee's 24th rushing touchdown of the year puts Central an extra point away from tying this one up. And Josh Shattuck enthusiastic about his halftime adjustments.
Yeah, just like that, right back on the scoreboard. Tie ball game pending the extra point here. But that's exactly what Central needed here to start this second half.
Ryan Ramirez has been solid most of the season on extra points, but he did have one blocked last week against Penn. This snap is up, and the kick is good. And 10:43 to go in the third quarter. We're all tied at 21 on the banks of the Elkhart.
Leo's Barbershop is proud to sponsor the New Prairie Cougars. Your local barber, Leo, wishes the Cougar football team and staff a great game. Leo's Barbershop has been a part of the New Carlisle community for over 34 years and welcomes everyone to his barbershop at 511 West Michigan Street in New Carlisle. Go Cougars!
So a 21-21 tie here in Elkhart. Mechaniqua with a 34-27 lead on Rochester. Marion leads Washington 35-6. Wawasee on top of Goshen 28-17. And the Northwood Panthers leading Plymouth 27-6 right now. Plymouth needed a win to clinch the NLC title by itself. Now they may have to share it with Concord, which leads Warsaw 34-14. Also 2:14 to go in the backyard brawl. Penn leads Mishawaka 21-13. Wyatt Kamichek takes the kick back at his own 8. Kamichek with room to run and runs right into the tackler there at the 28-yard line.
Wow, he had a big hole there. All he had to do is make one little juke there, and he probably would have been gone. Here you can see a great SBO replay. Great blocking by his returners there. You can see him kind of come off to the side, just if he would have cut it back up the middle.
It was 31-31 as Dominic Russo made the stop there for Elkhart Central. So New Prairie with its first possession of the second half. Cougars have thrown the ball well tonight, but they're going to run it here with Ian Scornog. And Scornog tried to cut inside and slipped on the turf in front of Roderick Ballard. They'll spot it behind the line of scrimmage at the 37.5. Half-yard loss that time for Scornog.
New Prairie came out in the first half, first series, throwing the ball quite early in that series. We'll see if they continue that here in the second half as well, with Ketterer back in the shotgun with nobody in the backfield.
2nd and 11. Ketterer surveys the scene, puts Kamichek in motion, but it's Ketterer keeping it, and Ketterer stood up at the 41-yard line. They'll spot it way up at the 42. That's a pickup of 5 on the play for Chase Ketterer.
Life is busy, and Little Caesar Pizza understands. Their fast service and great low prices will have you taken care of and out the door in no time. Little Caesar's hot and ready items are ready to go when you are. One-topping pizzas, wings, and breadsticks are just minutes away from their oven to your table, with 5 locations in Elkhart. Remember to use their app and order with the pickup portal to avoid the lines. Little Caesar's Pizza.
Ketterer with trips to his right, rolling that way. Now stops, cuts inside, and gets the first down. Sponsored by KC Tree, he goes to the Blazer 49. What a run by Chase Ketterer.
What a great job of avoiding the tackle there, being elusive and picking up that big first down there. Avoids 1-2 tackles there and almost gets away from the third one with the spin.
Kimball Reef with the one-hand grab to bring him down. Ketterer now at 83 yards for the night. Russ Radke looking from the sideline, saying we're going to miss him next year. Chris Mays takes it on the end around. Mays cuts it up the field, still on his feet, and gets a first down, sponsored by KC Tree. Mays takes it to the 37, pickup of 12 on the play.
Great job of getting outside and really following his blocks there. Picking up that big first down, taking some pressure off Ketterer, I think is the biggest thing in that situation.
Kenneth Dennis and Roderick Ballard combining on the stop that time for Elkhart Central, but not before New Prairie has the running game on track right here. Blazer defense was on the field a lot in the first half. Kamichek trying to get to the outside, and he tripped over his own 2 feet and goes down at the 39-yard line. Loss of 2 on the play for Wyatt Kamichek, member of that New Prairie baseball team and the LaPorte County Leadership Council.
See if we can see it here. Just a flat-out block in the back right there on the back side, right in front of the refs. A couple of the Elkhart Central coaches were going off on that.
There has not, other than on a punt, there has not been a single blocking violation called on this game tonight for either team. 2nd and 12. Ketterer under pressure. Ketterer goes down. The Blazers finally get their first sack of the night. Sean Holman racing in to get Ketterer back at the 42. It's a loss of 3 on the play.
Linebacker down. Looks like they're slowly getting up.
Will Branch in there along with Holman that time. As you see Will coming off with that big club cast on his hand to protect the knuckle. You don't see New Prairie in 3rd and 16 very often, but here they are. Ketterer throws back against the grain. Taylor Adams, and he's got blockers in front. Taylor Adams going to the end zone. Touchdown New Prairie, but there's a flag on the play for a block in the back at the 24.
Big block in the back right there at the 24. I don't even know if it was a necessary block. The guy was kind of out of position. But what a great call, regardless of that block, by New Prairie's offense, really using the pressure that Central put on them and against them in that screen play.
So they will move it back. That's a spot infraction and a 10-yard penalty. So it still makes it a much more manageable 3rd down, but you'll get another look here on the SBO replay. And you couldn't see it up right here. Vinny Ambrose just gets taken down. You're right. It was really an unnecessary contact to make.
Still a 3rd and manageable here now. Actually brings it back to 3rd and 8.
Ketterer again with that trips. Every time they've had trips, he's rolled that way, and he'll do it again. Ketterer hit as he throws, and it is complete down to the 1-yard line, but was he in bounds? No, out of bounds is Wyatt Kamichek.
What a great throw and catch, though, regardless of out of bounds. They had 2 defenders, one over the top and one underneath, and the defenders just really misplayed that ball.
Ketterer has really thrown some gems here tonight. Kamichek, and he was trying to toe tap, but I think the left foot came down before the right one did. So it's 4th and no man's land here. Russ Radke does not want to punt from here, so he's going to go for it on 4th and 8 at the Blazer 34.
See if they bring pressure.
They do. Ketterer steps up, going for the end zone, and it is incomplete, but a flag comes in, and a pass interference call will be made.
It's like I think they're saying he was holding his jersey. They're pulling on the jersey right now on his shirt. They're gonna call it a pass interference, but they had him double covered the whole way down. I'm surprised Ketterer even threw that ball.
But they said Terrence Williams had his arm over the arm of Kamichek and was impeding his progress.
Yep.
So that's a big first down, sponsored by KC Tree for New Prairie, as it takes the ball inside the Blazer 20 to the 19-yard line. Josh Shattuck and his co-defensive coordinator, Cody French, trying to encourage this Blue Blazer defense to shake off the penalty and move on to the next play.
Yeah, we're really starting to get a lot of emotion in this game from both sides here as well.
you can understand why the stakes are high tonight. It's Chris Mays off the right side. Mays, Kendall Reef brings him down at about the 9-yard line, right around the first down marker. And they're going to call it just short of the first down, inside the 10.
Pulse Gas Station goes beyond expectations in meeting lifestyle choices of the Elkhart community. Other gas stations try to be simple and just reliable. Pulse goes beyond to ensure awesome products and awesome service. The entire Pulse culture is based upon the concept of delivering awesome. Pulse Gas Station, County Road 6 and Cassopolis Street in Elkhart.
It's actually 2nd and 1 from the 9, and it's Ketterer for the first down and the touchdown. Chase Ketterer right up the middle of the Blazer defense. A 9-yard touchdown run, his 23rd rushing TD of the year. And New Prairie is back in front by 6. What a game.
Big Hoss is up front doing the job, doing a great job here. With 6.5 to go in the third quarter of making some key blocks for this backfield with Ketterer and Mays.
It's Nolan Szymanski on to try the extra point out of the hold of Ian Skornog. Trying to reestablish that 7-point advantage that New Prairie had at halftime. The snap was high, the kick is chipped, and it is good. And with 6:24 to go in the third, New Prairie is back in front. Chase Ketterer having himself a game, 2 touchdown passes, and then he goes right down Main Street here for 6, and the Cougars are back in front on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life. There you see Chase Ketterer, the New Prairie quarterback, the senior, with a good night on offense tonight. 2 touchdowns throwing, 1 touchdown rushing. New Prairie up by 7.
Another key moment here for the Central Blue Blazers to see if they can respond, because definitely don't want to give the ball back real quick and let New Prairie run a lot more time off just like they have been.
Vinny Ambrose with his second good kickoff return of the half takes this one up by the 40-yard line. And again, good field position for the Elkhart Central Blue Blazers as they'll start from their own 39.
The reason I say it kind of a key possession as well is their defense needs a break, because this Cougar offense is really put it hurting on this defense by Central. Just how much time they've been off there. I saw them walking off the field after that last score, and they look tired out there. So this offense needs to stay on the field and run some clock and give their defense a little break.
Chandler fires, Ballard makes the juggling catch, and then goes forward to the 46-yard line as Skornog throws him down. The first down sponsored by Pulse Gas Station. Good catch there by Roderick Ballard.
Hey, wouldn't it be great to work for a great company where their employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance, because Reshcore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and 401k. Working for this steadily growing company isn't just a job, it's a career. To learn more about joining the Reshcore family, visit reschcor.com.
Isaiah Chandler, 7 of 11 throwing for 112, but here he gives it to Mark Brownlee, and Brownlee does what he does best, runs up to the 40-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play for Brownlee, who now has 75 yards for the night. It'll be 2nd and 3 for Elkhart Central. You almost get the feeling last team with the ball tonight wins.
Yeah, I think it's either that or the first one to make a mistake on offense. Fumble, big turnover.
We have not had one of those tonight on either side, although there have been some near misses. Davis in motion, but it's Brownlee up the middle. Brownlee behind that big offensive line goes to the 30-yard line.
The original Bonnie Doon Drive-In on Lincoln Way has a bit more time left in this season. Stop by the weekend for the delicious Bonnie burger, fries, and a shake. For over 81 years, Bonnie Doon has been a part of the community. Great food and rich, creamy ice cream. Make Bonnie Doon a favorite for a cool treat. They're open till November 1st. Bonnie Doon Drive-In on Lincoln Way.
Mark Brownlee, an all-NIC selection a year ago, now with over 4,500 yards in his career that started at Elkhart Memorial. Chandler throws to Dominic Davis in the flat, and Chase Ketterer is in on defense to make the stop. Well, that's how big this game is for New Prairie.
Yeah, not only did he make the stop, he shed a blocker to make that block. What a great job here. You can see a great SBO replay of it. Davis gets the ball. There's Ketterer shedding the blocker and making the tackle.
Both times that I have gone to New Prairie practice this year, Ketterer has been working with the defensive backs, and they used him quite a bit in the game against Mishawaka as well. So 2nd and 12. And the handoff to Brownlee up the middle. He gets tripped up. Bobby Seifert was able to knife his way in and get down around the ankles of Brownlee and keep that one from going. It wound up being only a 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, New Prairie's lucky he got in there and took out the legs of Brownlee because he might have been gone on that play.
As it is, Elkhart Central looking at a 3rd and 9 from the New Prairie 28. Chandler. Play action. Ballard makes the grab. Ballard loses the football, and New Prairie says they have it, but now they say it's an incomplete pass. Wow, it sure looked as though Ballard may have made a grab, but instead it's an incomplete catch.
Ballard's had trouble holding on to the ball tonight.
Boy, that's awfully close to having made a football move, as they like to say in the NFL.
They like to 2 steps and then a football move, and it was close on that, but
he did not make 2 steps. It was just 1. So 4th and 9. Let's see what Josh Shattuck dials up here. He's gone with that wheel route a couple of times. And a timeout called by Josh Shattuck with 3:35 to go in the 3rd. Key moment in the ball game here. New Prairie up by 7. You'll see how this one unfolds when we come back at 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. Josh Shattuck talking things over with his ball club. He mentioned before the game how tired he is of these close losses that Elkhart Central has had. He wants to get over the top on somebody. Meanwhile, Russ Radke talked about how important it was for his team to stay focused and win the Northern Indiana Conference. If New Prairie wins the NIC tonight, it will be the first time that neither Penn nor Mishawaka has had a share of the title since 1985.
It's been a while, folks.
4th and 8. That was even before your career.
That was well before.
Chandler on play action, throwing down the field for Davis, and he can't hang on. Dominic Davis looked like he was there, but Chase Ketterer was there to maybe knock it away. We'll get another look on the SBO replay.
Well, I think one of the biggest reasons Ketterer is in there is because of his speed, and he's able to take on Davis. You can see maybe got away with a little bit of a arm bar there, but Davis still should have had that ball.
Yeah, but Davis couldn't get that left arm up. You talk about the arm bar. That might have been where it was.
Yep.
Nevertheless, it's an incomplete pass. Central turns it over on downs, and now they've got to do something they haven't done a lot tonight, and that's get a stop on New Prairie. 1st and 10. Chris Mays trying to run around the right side. Mays turns the corner but only picks up about 1 yard or 2 on the play.
That play there has been very successful for New Prairie, so that's a kind of a good sign for Central's defense, able to stop then. Normally Mays picks up about 8 to 10 yards on that little sweep play there.
Chris Mays now over 1,000 yards for the season at 1,005 for the campaign. 2nd and 8. New Prairie has not been afraid to air it out tonight, but they're going to keep it on the ground here with Mays, and Mays running vertically finally gets stood up for good at about the 31-yard line.
Feeney's Hometown Goods wishes all the New Prairie players the best of luck. Go Cougars, and don't forget to check out Feeney's Hometown Goods for a great selection of local artisan goods.
LaVille beats Culver Community tonight, 13-8. So Will Hostrasser's team gets a good win, although Mike Zahner's squad playing very well in Class 1A and could be a big factor in that sectional with North Judson. 3rd and 7 here for New Prairie. Big down for the Blazer defense. Ketterer off a low snap, scrambles and has nowhere to go. The Blazers read that one well. Sean Holman comes over and makes the stop. Holman might be cramping a little bit out there. Gets up limping, but New Prairie will send the punt unit on. The Blazer defense did exactly what they needed to do right there.
Yeah, they needed to come up with a big stop, and they were able to. Stop Mays on a couple plays, and then Ketterer dropping back. Not anybody open, trying to take it up the middle. Big stop by the Central defense.
Ben Frank, the sparingly used kicker for New Prairie. We saw him once earlier tonight. Frank off a good snap, sends one up there that Vinny Ambrose will take at his 40. And Ambrose with hands all over his helmet, and there's the flag on Scornog.
Yeah.
It's a horse collar.
Yeah, they're going to call the horse collar. Not quite a face mask, but kind of got to the back of the helmet. Just got his hand caught. Here you can see a great replay by SBO. Coming around. Hey, he just had the top of the helmet, but
yeah,
they're going to call that. Because he never actually grabbed the face mask or inside the helmet.
Yeah, that's, of the calls that we've had tonight, that's a bit of an odd one. But a personal foul, 15 yards, and it'll give the Blazers the ball 1st and 10 at the 42. You get another angle here, but there was never a face mask involved. He just grabbed onto the lightning bolt logo, and that doesn't stick out that far. So it's 1st and 10 for the Blazers. Isaiah Chandler, 7 of 13 tonight. But he hands the ball to Mark Brownlee. Brownlee trying to weave his way through traffic, takes it up to the 39-yard line. Pick up a 3 that time for Brownlee, who now has 91 yards for the night.
Think Pyramid Equipment for your snowplow needs. Sales, services, and installation of residential and commercial grade snowplows, parts, and salt spreaders. Pyramid offers military, police, and fireman discount. Find us at pyramidequipmentinc.com.
Chandler rides it on the option this time, and Isaiah Chandler, who runs very rarely, takes this ball up to the 33. He's a yard short of the 1st down.
We've seen him in the past run some plays, and he does run very well. He has a little bit of limber to him, able to juke out some players and run through that hole and keep people honest as well.
That's only his 17th carry of the season. Let's see if the Blazers try to get this play off before the quarter expires. Brownlee up the middle has the 1st down, and Elkhart Central will have the ball at the New Prairie 28, trailing by 7 when the 4th quarter gets underway here at Venerable Rice Field. For 94 years, people have been coming to this edifice on the east side of downtown Elkhart, and they're seeing a good one tonight. The Blazers struck with a Mark Brownlee touchdown, but then New Prairie answered with a Chase Ketterer touchdown. The Stars are out, and the Cougars lead by 7 as we go to the 4th on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV 46 for 30 years. Chuck Fraby and Bo Hunt back with you at Rice Field in Elkhart. Normally at this point, Bo gives us a Bills Heating sideline report. You can still do the same thing from up here where it's a slight bit warmer. Your analysis of this one through 3 quarters.
What a great game. Probably one of the best games we've had all season. Just 2 quality teams here going at it. New Prairie trying to go undefeated outright in the conference of the NIC as well. Central trying to get over that hump, trying to really win that close game and really propel themselves here into the playoffs.
Mark Brownlee Instead, it's Dominic Davis on the end around. And look at Dominic Davis with blockers in front. Take it to the 12-yard line. A first down sponsored by Pulse Gas Station. He was dynamic when we saw him against Memorial this year.
Yeah, that same play right there he took for a touchdown against Memorial. What a great call in this situation. You'll see him coming around, fake to Brownlee. 2 blockers, 77-50. Out in front, Holman out in front. Oh, Holman, keep going, block that.
He had already made his pancake.
Yep.
On 1st and 10. Play action, it's Brownlee, and Brownlee carries for about a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Studio 509, your official hairstylist of Coach Gum. Studio 509 wishes New Prairie a great game. Stop into your local hairstylist, Jill Cooper. Jill personally wishes her son, Tyler, number 12, and the whole New Prairie staff a great season. Go Cougars.
Man, so many things on the Bill Gum resume. Some of them actually true.
Some.
2nd and 9 from the 11. Chandler from the gun. Looks left. Fires that way. Touchdown, Elkhart Central. Roderick Ballard.
Held on to that one, that's for sure. What a great job. Great throw by Chandler. Tying, or 1 point away from tying this game up, pending the extra point. Great job by Chandler.
Chandler's 3rd touchdown pass of the night. Ketterer was on coverage of Ballard, and Davis did enough to screen off Scornog so he couldn't get there to break it up.
Yeah, just a little bit of a screen there.
The snap was not a good one, but the adjustment made, and Ramirez's extra point is up and good, and with 10:53 to go in regulation, we're tied at 28.
For 60 years, Imaginary Finishing Technologies has been the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. They set the standard for industry, including automotive, medical, aerospace, and military defense. Go to iftworldwide.com for more info. IFT has earned national accreditation and worldwide respect. Like the teams in tonight's game, we're working for a great finish.
Isaiah Chandler with 3 touchdown passes on the night. He has just been terrific running the controls of this offense. And as Josh Shattuck told me earlier in the week, he plays big in big games, and he's showing it here tonight.
Yeah, he's really coming up big, and I think that's the biggest thing. We see a lot of difference this year with this Central team than we did last year at the beginning of the years. They believe they can win this game. Last year was a 49-0 shellacking basically by New Prairie. Brownlee was out, but that was no excuse as well. But you can tell this team is ready to go tonight.
Ramirez with the spinning kick taken by Kamichek at the 5. He brings it up to the 26. And that's where New Prairie will start 1st and 10 with Chase Ketterer at the controls.
St. Andrews Products has joined our team with the finest in promotional products, advertising, specialties, business gifts, and apparel. Call 800-628-9922 or email at sales@standrewscorp.com. Your expectations become our standards, and our answer is always yes. Now, what is the question?
The question was, could you make both of those reads tonight? And you did.
And you know what? They kept us warm tonight up here in the booth as well. That's for sure.
Wonderful jackets from St. Andrews. 1st and 10. Here's Ketterer on the keeper. And Chase gets up to about the 29-yard line. Pick up a 3 on the play. It was a pleasure just to stand and play catch with him this week at practice. The other quarterback had to go run a drill, and I said, well, go ahead, I'll keep you company. And my throws weren't anywhere near as good as his, but I was thrown into the 30-mile-an-hour wind, too.
And we got a chance to talk to him in the New Prairie Adams game that got rained out, of course, so we were there before the game, sitting there talking to him for a little bit. Great kid, great character, and upstanding student athlete.
Ketterer, little flea flicker here. Ian Scornog, the backup quarterback, did not pull up. Instead, he keeps running up to the 36-yard line and is very close to the first down marker, if not there. Looks like he's about, right on it. If he has it, it'll be another first down sponsored by KC Tree. The thing you always have to worry about with Skornog is that he'll pull up and throw.
And throw it as well. It looked like he was going to try to throw it at first and then took off, but they're going to go ahead and call it a first down. Just under 10 minutes here in the fourth quarter.
Well, New Prairie quite capable of grinding out this entire clock if they need to. We'll see if the Blazer defense, which got a stop just moments ago, can get one here. It's Chris Mays off the left side, bouncing it to the outside and picking up 5, almost 6 on the play. We talked about Mays and the struggles he had last year. He was having a really good season until the Penn game where he got hurt and was never the same player after that.
Yeah, you can see he's a big force tonight, really offsetting Kettera very well and really picking up some huge yardage tonight. And another big first down play for the Cougars right there, picking up 5 yards on first down. If you can pick up 5 yards on first down, you're golden in this offense.
Mays had 242 and 3 touchdowns in the win against St. Joe. Ketterer with a beautiful pull out that time to take it away from Mays and keep it for the first down. It's sponsored by KC Tree, and Chase getting right up around the 100-yard mark tonight.
Zoll's Elevator and Feed Mill, your place to go for your animal feed needs. Located in downtown New Carlisle, stop in and visit us and visit our holiday open house Saturday, November 23rd, 9 a.m. to noon.
Chase Ketterer was scared of Russ Radke when he was a freshman at New Prairie. But it's Russ Radke who has turned over the controls of his offense to Chase Ketterer now in his senior year. Ketterer calls his own number here, and Sean Holman brings him down right at the midfield stripe, a pickup of about 4 on the play.
New Prairie be very content just running 3 downs every 10 yards, running that clock, picking up the first down, moving those chains slowly but surely. Of course, they would like a big play, but they'd be more than happy just to keep picking up a first down after first down and run this clock down.
And they're more than happy to keep it in the hands of Ketterer, a young man who's been a quarterback since he was in 2nd grade. And he'll keep it himself here, but only able to pick up a yard. Sean Holman having another monster game.
Yeah, he's had a monster game today. He's been so key on that defensive front. Just a big stop there. Got his big bear claw around Kettera. See here on our SBO replay.
Folks, don't let the flowing locks fool you. That's a 5'11", 265-pound man who is a demon in the weight room getting the job done there. 3rd and 5. Ketterer wants to throw. Out in the flat, Skornog is wide open. Terrence Williams throws him down at the 30, but not before a first down, sponsored by KC Tree. And Chase Ketterer making some key passes tonight for New Prairie.
Yeah, I mean, he's got guys going downfield, and they're not even anybody close to him. You can see the linebacker got pulled up. DB was double teaming the tight end down the middle, and nobody had him in the flat.
So 1st and 10 at the Blazer 29 with 6:55 to go. This Blazer defense has been on the field for eons tonight in this game. Ketterer keeps it himself. Off the left side, Kendall Reef brings him down after a pickup of 3. Roderick Ballard asking for a holding call there, but didn't get it.
Looks like we got a Central player down on the ground.
Can't really tell from here who it is, as we're screened somewhat by the officials. 6:31 to go. That's Vinny Ambrose. Looks like he just kind of got the wind knocked out of him maybe, although the way he's holding his arm, there could be a problem too with his wrist.
McDonald's Physical Therapy understands that you need less pain, more movement, and better health. They offer the area's top physical therapists and the most up-to-date technology, water therapy, and other cutting-edge treatments to make sure you get the high-quality care you deserve. McDonald Physical Therapy is a proud supporter of high school sports and wishes all the athletes in tonight's game the best of luck.
2nd and 7 for New Prairie. The Cougars trying to finish a perfect regular season and win the Northern Indiana Conference title outright. Chase Ketterer with Chris Mays to his left. The clock running. It's Ketterer keeping it himself. Jonathan Decker brings him down at the 26-yard line. So it'll be third down and long here for New Prairie.
This last third down, they went to the pass play. We'll see if they do that again. They like to kind of bunch their guys together because you don't know which guy's going to go out, which guy's going to go where, and you got to play the run so tough as well. So it's which guy's going to break out under and which guy's going to break down the middle.
Third down, we'll call it 7, shy of the 25. Ketterer has not been afraid to throw it tonight, but he'll run it here. Up the middle, knocked down at the 23-yard line. Fourth down, and of course Russ Radke will go for it here.
Yeah, a long 4th and 3 here. Might even move it back, almost 4th and 4. You can see he gets tripped up. It's coming through by his, oh, is that Holman coming in there
yeah,
again?
It was Holman
sure
fighting off the block of Taylor Adams to make the stop. What a monster game 50 has played tonight for Elkhart Central.
Biggest play of the night so far right here. 4th and 4. New Prairie going for it.
And Elkhart Central will call a timeout, and we will take it with 4:56 to go in regulation. I know you're not going anywhere right now. 28 all on 46. And this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Terra Credit Union, because they live here too.
The New Prairie High School Touchdown Club, parents, families, and friends wish our 2019 Cougars, players and coaches, all the best. Win with pride, play with gusto, leave it all on the field. Loyalty, pride, and dedication. That's the Cougar standard.
Tied at 28. 4:56 to go. New Prairie looking at a 4th and 4 at the Central 23. Chase Ketterer has been the man all season long for New Prairie. He'll call his own number here, looking to throw. He's got a man open, lobs it up there, and it is intercepted in the end zone. Terrence Williams makes the pick, just the second one that Ketterer has thrown all season, and the Blazers will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20.
Big Jonathan, was that Jonathan Decker? Got into the backfield. Here you can see a great SBO. There he is. Ketterer had to throw more arch on it and get it up in the air farther. He had the guy open. He was beat, but he couldn't get it up and over Decker's long pause and underthrew it just a little bit.
So now, Elkhart Central takes over 1st and 10 at its own 20. 4:25 to go. The Blazers only have one timeout left. And let's see if this Central team that has come close so many times finally gets over the hump tonight, or if New Prairie makes a big play. It's Mark Brownlee on the carry, trying to get around the right side, but New Prairie strung it out to the sidelines well and held him to a gain of 3.
He seems to be running with a little bit more of a attitude, a little bit more of a force this second half, a little bit more, you know, north-south as well.
Actually, they spot it as a gain of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 8. Clock stopped as the ball went out of bounds. Josh Shattuck looking for a reset of the play clock, and now the official does indeed wave his arms. We'll see if they do actually reset the play clock. Yeah, they do. So 2nd and 8. Here's Chandler looking to throw, fires, and the catch made by Ballard, but the tackle made by Ketterer right away at the 26, 27-yard line. And so it'll be 3rd and short.
So some of the biggest plays tonight have been Ketterer on defense. You know, who would have thought we would have been saying Ketterer on defense making some of the biggest plays of the night?
On a 3rd and 4, which way will Josh Shattuck go? Will he put the ball into the belly of Mark Brownlee, his go-to running back, or will he ask his senior quarterback Isaiah Chandler to make the play here? And a timeout called by the officials.
Equipment had a buckle undone there.
Okay. Everything reset. And the Blazers will run a little clock here as Chandler goes and sets the line. And they do give it to Brownlee behind that offensive line, and he gets the first down just past the 30-yard line. First down sponsored by Pulse Gas Station. And the Blazers move the chains as Brownlee moves ever closer to 100 yards for the night. Corey Warlick was the big body in front of him that time.
Real good push by the line there, and good job by Brownlee getting up, knowing where that first down is.
I just have a hunch. I don't like to say these out loud. I'm not like Steve Stone calling a White Sox game, but I just have a hunch it's Dominic Davis time.
It could be at this point. You know, they do like to look for a big play for him, and there it is.
Davis got hung up with Ian Skornog, but the ball was thrown out of bounds.
Yeah, Davis was looking for a little bit of a pass interference there. He got bumped as that ball was being thrown in the air and threw him offline.
Needed to sell that bump a little bit more. Although that's tough because a receiver is typically told you got to fight through that anyway.
Yeah, here you can see.
But watch here at the bottom of the screen.
They switch, defenders switch. And it really wasn't much of a contact. It was kind of both of them ran into each other.
And the ball was thrown so far out of bounds.
Yeah.
It really didn't matter. 2nd and 10. They do give it to Dominic Davis on the end around.
Lots of room.
Davis to the first down marker at the 40.
Big defensive stop by the Cougars there. Davis had a seam there. He had blockers out front. Here you can see him come around. You got the big hosses in front.
Taylor Adams hung on for dear life, but it's a first down for Central, sponsored by Pulse Gas Station. So they rolled the dice with Davis twice.
Yep. Going under 3 minutes here. They still running their same, kind of taking their time, calling their plays.
Well, they don't want to leave anything on the plate for New Prairie.
Yeah, and remember, they do have a pretty decent kicker who we saw kicking going this way about 45-yard field goals.
Here's Mark Brownlee to the 46. Brownlee now over 100 yards for the night. There you see Brian Ramirez, the all-conference soccer player, warming up on the Blazer sideline.
About 19 more yards, and they're actually close to within his range if there's no time left on the clock.
They're willing to try him from 50. Here's a throw in the flat. Davis makes the catch, and Ketterer makes the hit.
Ketterer on defense. Another huge stop by Chase, just coming up, reading that play. You can see Davis, that was a backwards pass there too. That's a tough call there.
Roderick Ballard has not been able to block Ketterer tonight. So it's 3rd and 9 from the Blazer 41. We're down to less than 90 seconds to go in regulation. Chandler wants to throw, loads up, fires, too far for Ballard, and it's incomplete. 4th down, and the Blazers will have to punt it away.
Ketterer on the coverage again out there.
So from the 41, Ramirez will do the kicking. Chandler had to get rid of it. He had pressure coming in. And Ballard saying that Ketterer was draped on him, but no call made.
Minute 18 left here. We've had a couple shank punts here tonight, and that's one of the keys we talked about is field position on special teams.
Good snap. Ramirez with a good kick. It'll bounce and take a Blazer roll inside the 15 all the way down to the 12-yard line, and that's where New Prairie will take over with 1:06 to go. Okay, here's a question for you, Coach.
They got 3 timeouts as well.
But if you're Russ Radke,
Yep.
do you take the chances with 3 timeouts, or do you say maybe my chances are better in overtime with pounding the ball in from the 10-yard line time after time after time.
Well, I think you give yourself a few chances here. You got 3 timeouts, and in high school, the ball stops after every first down as well. And so you do take some shots. I don't know if you take shots all the way downfield, but you maybe run a couple, maybe a reverse or some play action, and a couple different maybe trick plays that they have under their sleeves, but nothing too careless, though, with the ball.
You're pinned back at your own 12-yard line with 1:06 to go.
So we haven't had a turnover yet tonight, as we talked about.
We had one down in the end zone a moment ago.
Oh, yeah,
Here's
you're right.
Ketterer on the run, and Roderick Ballard hangs on and brings him down at the 20-yard line. No indication that New Prairie will take a timeout. They're signaling in a play from the sidelines, telling the guys to hurry up. 2nd and 2.
Ketterer does have lightning speed, so if he is able to break through, he could take it to the house.
See the clock in the bottom right corner of the Intera Credit Union scoreboard. No sense of urgency shown here by New Prairie. Now Ketterer rolls out, throws deep down the field, and it's intercepted. It is intercepted by Michael Echartia in New Prairie territory at the 49 with 27 seconds left. Ketterer was running away from Rodney McGraw and threw right into double coverage.
You called it. I mean, you were talking, do you play for overtime, or do you maybe take a, chance here? And they definitely took a chance there. 27 seconds, 1 timeout for Central. And again, they get it to about the 35-yard line. They have a chance of hitting that field goal from about 46, 47.
But you've got to move the ball at least 15, 20 yards here. Chandler rolls out, now decides to scramble for it, hauled down from behind at the 41-yard line. And Elkhart Central will use its timeout here after Blake Kessler made the tackle.
Now in this situation, Josh needs to call a couple plays depending on situations, and if they are able to get up and get the first down, make sure they all know, hey, we need to get to the line, we need to spike the ball as well. So there's going to be a lot of calls made in this timeout right here for this last 19 seconds.
Ideally, you'd like to be able to get off at least 2 plays in these last 19 seconds, and maybe even 3.
Yeah, I could see it. You pick up the first down, you go up, you clock the ball, you run at least another play, maybe a 3rd play after that as well.
The other thing you might want to know is where your kicker likes the ball, if he has a hash preference. Russ Radke, he's seen these things before, and he also realizes the tournament doesn't really start until next week. But boy, what a good test for his team going into the 4A tournament.
Oh, exactly. I mean, he knew what the type of talent, and not just this game, but the whole NIC North. He talked about that and how well that's going to prepare them for that Class 4A run.
19 seconds left. Chandler looks to the sideline, throws, and it is incomplete. Ballard could not hang on. He had 2 chances to catch it and couldn't grab on.
Yeah, again, I had a coach, old-time coach, a lot of people know him, Coach Bungie. I bobbled one with gloves on, and he told me to take those galoshes off and never wear them again,
3rd and 3. 15 seconds left. Chandler looks to the sideline. Blazers bereft of timeouts. Chandler gives it to Brownlee up the middle. Brownlee.
Hamstring.
Brownlee to the 19. Looks like he's cramping or has a hammy problem. The first down, they've got to clock the ball here. Chandler does with 9.3 seconds left. And Brownlee will limp off the field.
You saw him about halfway through that hole. He started holding. Here you can see a great replay of it by SBO. Comes through. Right there, he starts holding his hamstring, and then he starts hobbling again, holding it again.
Well, you hope that that is just a cramp and not a hamstring pull. The way that he is pounding the track over there would make me think it's a cramp. In the meantime, the Blazers have lined up for what would be the game go-ahead field goal. Brian Ramirez from 36 yards away. The kick is on its way, and it is good. Ramirez from 36 with 5.7 left. And the all-conference soccer player, maybe all-conference in 2 sports after that.
What a call and run by Brownlee, and a precise right down the middle kick.
So Bo Hunt will head downstairs to talk to our IU South Bend fulfilling the promise player of the game, maybe even Josh Shattuck as well. And we'll see what kind of magic might unfold here in the final 5.7. As I believe Penn beat Mishawaka tonight. And this would mean that Penn and New Prairie would share the NIC North crown. Not the worst thing in the world for the Cougars. Ramirez with a squib kick. New Prairie fields it at the 11. The clock starts now. Kamichek will run around in a circle. Time has expired. Kamichek has to take it the distance if New Prairie's going to win the game. Kamichek trying to keep it alive and is finally taken down. And Elkhart Central has upset the top-ranked team in Class 4A. The Blue Blazers have beaten New Prairie by the final score of 31-28. When we come back, we'll have our post-game festivities sponsored by Rescor, including our IU South Bend fulfilling the promise player of the game and our electrifying play of the game. It's all next on the 46 Game of the Week.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Game of the Week, brought to you by
Could be a pretty good party in the City with a Heart tonight because they're still celebrating here at Rice Field. A 31-28 victory over top-ranked New Prairie as you look at Jonathan Decker and many of the other Blue Blazers talking with family members and friends tonight. They all want to chat about this one. They'll be talking about it for a full week, I'm sure, around the City with a Heart because Elkhart Central finally got over the hump tonight after so many close calls against good teams in the Northern Indiana Conference. Elkhart Central beats the top-ranked team in Class 4A. There were heroes aplenty, but it was fairly easy to pick our IU South Bend fulfilling the promise player of the game. He's standing by now on the field with Bo Hunt.
Standing by with our players of the game and the coach of the Elkhart Central Blue Blazers. Hold on one second. We're going to talk to Isaiah Chandler. Just first off, what a victory this was tonight for you guys.
I know we've been working hard for it, and we lost a couple close games. So Coach brought us in the locker room, just hyped us up so we could get this dub.
What was your feeling on that last drive? Brownlee with the big run, going out there and making that big kick, and just talk about the emotions that was going through you guys right there.
I knew that we could win it because Etchie made a big play with an interception, and then we had to spike it real quick, so we just knew that we could get it, and we trusted our kicker.
What does this win mean for you going out here as the last game, home game, regular season for the Elkhart Central Blue Blazers?
It means a lot. It just gets us rolling to the playoffs because we got bigger things coming.
I'm going to talk to your coach now, Josh. You can go ahead, Isaiah. Good job, bud. Josh, what does this victory mean for you in this program?
We've just been knocking on the door. I mean, we just and it's part of the deal, and it is. I'll be honest with you, it's just been mentally straining for our staff and our players. You know, for 2 straight years we've lost. I think every win has been by 20 or more, and like 8 of our 9 losses are by 7 or less. And we're just, this type of game has happened to us over and over again, and we just haven't put the pieces together well enough and made plays enough to win. And tonight to just do it against, I mean, those are conference champs. Yeah. And to do it against the #1 team in the state on senior night, and to do it where it didn't look great for a while there, just unbelievable resolve of our kids, and really excited to carry this into the tournament.
You guys were up 14-7, had the ball deep in your territory the first half.
They were able to stop you guys and then score 14 straight points right before half, and your defense was out on the field forever. What'd you guys talk about at halftime, and how'd you guys overcome that?
Well, our halftime, we lit into them a little bit. I think it's tough. You know, not too long ago, Central was kind of a doormat in 2-win seasons and 4-win seasons, and that was kind of the norm. And I think our kids have to realize that we have a good football team, and even though we haven't beaten some of the top competition in our conference, we're right there, and they just have to believe. So I think our guys are just like, you're just really afraid of them falling into a here we go again when you're down 7 against the #1 team. And I just told them, and the other coaches too, we have the better players. We felt like we had better players. They have an unbelievable program and size and all that, but we felt like we had more talent on the field. And if we could just put it together and believe for 2 more quarters that we'd come out on top, and that's what happened.
Thanks for an instant classic tonight.
It's an unbelievable game. Thank you.
Back to you.
Oh, he is right about that. An unbelievable game. And that young man, Isaiah Chandler, with 3 touchdown passes tonight, played like a senior this evening. Time now to check out our electrical workers' electrifying play of the game. It was actually a sequence at the end of the game. It started with Michael Echartia making an interception on this Chase Ketterer pass into double coverage. That set the Blazers up at the New Prairie 49. Mark Brownlee, despite what looked like a cramp, ran for about 20 yards, and then Brian Ramirez, the all-conference soccer player, trots onto the field, lines it up from 36, and it was straight down the middle and deep into the Elkhart night. And Elkhart Central comes away with a 31-28 victory, and Bo Hunt has speedily rejoined me here in the booth. Your thoughts on this one?
It's a classic ball game. I mean, It's all that we thought this game was going to be. We talked to Coach Shattuck before the game, and he said, you know, this is going to be a knockdown, drag 'em fight to the finish. And he said, or we could get blown out. Well, that's not the case. It was a battle. There was a lot of emotion in this game from both sides, and it's exactly what we thought it was going to be.
And 2 really dangerous teams. As the postseason begins next week, we could see them both down the road on the tourney trail. But next week we will see School Field in South Bend. The Washington Panthers take on the Tippecanoe Valley Vikings. Our thanks to our TV 46 crew who did yeoman work setting up shop tonight here at Rice Field. And a reminder that we've got college football on the radio tomorrow afternoon. The Purdue Boilermakers venture into Kinnick Stadium to take on the 23rd ranked Iowa Hawkeyes. You'll hear that one at noon on Pulse FM. That's followed at 3:30 by Indiana Hoosier football as Tom Allen's crew goes into College Park, Maryland, and takes on the Maryland Terrapins. And then next Friday night, 7:30 live on Facebook, 11 on TV 46, and 9 o'clock Saturday morning, it's Tippecanoe Valley in South Bend, Washington in the Class 3A opener. Now from a Hall of Fame partner, the running back Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final score, Elkhart Central knocks off #1 New Prairie 31-28. So long from the banks of the Elkhart River.